And in the Cree, what they call a friend is gchiwaawgat. Gchiwaawgat means the person I'm walking with. Ours is a little bit more on a kind of the destination is more definite. I'm going home. This is the person going home. In Cree, it's the one I'm going towards home. I walk from the way home. And so I thought that was really interesting that they do have that in the Cree language. The Cree language, there's quite a few words that are kind of, it's like our language came from some of their words, and we refined it a little bit more, and so forth, because we don't have the wind factor that most Cree communities have, or most Cree communities have the wind factor in how a program develops, or a language develops. And I'm talking about the wind, the barons, it's wind. So when there's a high wind in some areas, it changes the language. The language evolves because of the different terrain. And even some of the people that originated this language when they live in the mountains, you have an extra syllable at the end of the word, which means that they were speaking when there was an echo. Talking when there was an echo, and then that be the extra sound in the language. And it's really as I'm researching the language, I'm starting to say, holy language, this is something. And finding out these things, some of the origins and some of the reasons why we have the way we do, and we seem to be opposite to the language I'm speaking right now. The language I'm speaking right now is it's a very, I guess, a very confronting language. It's a very warlike language. The language that I'm teaching is a very kind language, very I said soft language, and it explains why we've survived as a tribe for the length of time that we've survived. As far as advancing tribes in Gchi, we should have been extinct quite a few years ago, say about 400 years ago, because that's the way it was designed. And as a result of our ability to relate to kindness, first to ourselves and then to upwards, we've gone through some pretty difficult stuff. And the language kind of points to that fact why we are very, I guess, bendable, say it in another way, rather than break, we bend. And as a result of what we're going through, we also used to be bundled really tightly in your little ladies. And you're bundled really tightly in swaddle. You have the feeling of you're put together in a crisis. You don't fall apart because you've been, your body's been really tightly bundled for quite a number of months in the young. And you've been kept in this kind way. So you you don't fall apart as a result of going through some crisis or going through some really bad trauma and fall apart. But we've been built for trauma. And up until recently, when they started the sweat lodges for debriefing people coming back from war, that went to overseas to war, and it now decided to start doing sweat lodges. And what some of the tribes are doing is they're tying some of these people in blankets really tight and putting them to the sweat. And the debrief is unbelievable. They say that it's unbelievable what happens to this. And I can only imagine, because if I was really help 80% of sweat, I don't know. Trying to burrow right into the ground and all that. Take my way into safety. But yeah, that's an interesting thing to know that we had what we were looking at today. And it became part of the language. Part of the language there, when and the topic of our lessons today is about the wind. And adding on to the word nokiiyaan. Now, get here most of the time, somebody said nokiiyaan, as if they've given me a good morning. That's the way it sounds when you understand language as well as I do. You know that nokiiyaan is an English word to keep the creator of it. And you say, Mino, gizhebaawgat, you further come to realize that, yeah, that we are here and we are able to share what the creator has done for us today. We are not the creators of the good day. The good day is already here for us. And then you say, gizhebaawgat, you are going back to making sure that the blame for the good day is towards the creator. And we try to, in the language, we try to point out who is responsible for our life. We are responsible for the stuff we eat, the water, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the animals that are kind to us, give us their lives. The plants. We have grass dances, which also testifies that we recognize the medicines that the Creator has given us. And we are always in that direction. When we say nwep to each other, we are both acknowledging nwep the Creator, as it means nwep means he gives and we receive, which is really something, because most of us like to give. We like to give. It feels good when you give. And in this, using the word, we're also saying that we also know how to receive, which is something that most of us do not understand. We feel bad sometimes when we receive. You say, I wonder what this is all about. I wonder what you want to see. And we get kind of suspicious. And this thing of putting it right into nwep, gives and we receive. We are no longer suspicious. Where that is coming from, we've already knowledge he gives and we receive. So it's pretty neat when you take a language, the meaning of that word. And it doesn't say take it. It doesn't take it. When you say nwep, it does not say take it. It means receive, which means someone is giving, receive something, someone giving. you can take no one. It's a different look at a simple word. I started out by looking at he said I was going to, he asked to teach the language. I started out by the very first thing that we look at when we meet each other. It usually is nwep, the ani. Many times we say nwep. Probably one of the only words, the English word for him I knew was nwep. The only word she knew. She was 84. She was 101 when she died. She was 84 years old when she started to look after me. So the language you hear coming from my voice does not come from anybody else. It's from someone that obviously speaks and will always speak for her. And there are some people that argue with me, about some of my knowledge. They go to a couple of powwows and say, no, you're supposed to do this. Work I looked in correction. People used to give me the heck because I use a lighter. I use a lighter to light the smoke. Because fire is very, very dangerous and sensitive for many, many reasons. You can make weapons with fire. You can make a weapon anywhere you go. As long as you get fire, you can make a weapon. And more so than you can. So I used a lighter because I could keep track of a lighter around it. All I had to do was send somebody through the machine. Rated spot. That was one of the things I had to do to be able to say it's okay how to say fire second. So I had all kinds of people come up to me and said, you know what, you're not supposed to use a lighter. You're supposed to use matches. The way our ancestors. And I used to say, well, you show me where our ancestors got matches. I give you all. And I will listen to you. And they finally got tired of trying to change my mind. There was all kinds of things that you fly with your bundle learn. No, I said I travel by the car. You get mileage if you do that. They didn't like the joke because they all did that. I drive a car to get mileage. I just did it. I just moved because it's scared of fire. Terrified of fire. They say what? No different from a car. When you drive a car, you get into an accident. I said, yeah, but I said, it's up there. I said, you got about 10 minutes waiting for the darn impact. You got a lot of time, man. You can sure scream all time. I get that, but I'm afraid of screaming. Keeps everything so long. But they say, yeah, you don't put your fly with your bundle. I said, well, and then I went and asked my teacher, that somebody that I use as a resource. I was in deep water. And I said, how come we were supposed to fly? And he said, well, why not? And I said, well, the people are giving me heck because I have to fly. And he said, well, they said our ancestors didn't fly. I said, of course they didn't. He said, but if we would have had planes in those days, our people are very smart. They would have flew. We're not stupid. Everything that you look at it logically. That's what we do. We don't have that word in our language. Carefully. Talk carefully. Our language is repeat. Repeat. We have a word. Started. So anyway, any questions, any comments on that before we start? Do what I'm actually here for. Yes, sir.
So, in using nwep, when you're thinking is you're recognizing that the creator gives and we receive.
Yes.
So you may not want to use it as thank you.
No.
No, like that's I think how it's being translated. It's kind of like Mino, right? It's like good morning. It's like a direct English translation.
Yeah.
And Miigwech now it's kind of the same. It's like thank you. Miigwech.
Yeah.
But that's not,
not meant for.
and that's not what it's meant.
No.
It's meant more for prayer.
Yeah. It's an acknowledgement. It's an acknowledgement every time you receive something, you are both given that opportunity of saying which to the creator. You're talking to the creator, if you're saying the word miigwech to say that you were receiving, you were handing me something, you say miigwech, but you would understand that you are saying miigwech with openness, because we are both witness to how great that and creator is. So, everything, all our dances, all our songs, were all about miigwech. If you've ever seen the new edge of learning nowadays, so you have that word of gratitude and how to draw riches into your life in books. There's all kinds of books and programs out there. How to do certain things to be able to draw riches to you. And we never said the miigwech. We never said thank you. Never said the meaning of what everybody thought it was thank you. We actually did creation, created. And we said miigwech when we really wanted to show the creator how grateful we were. We danced miigwech. We did miigwech. Not only saying it, but we did it. And we did the grass dance. This is us saying, hey, creator, look at it, look at me, look at me. Get this feeling off me as I'm giving you this feeling of miigwech. This is what I'm giving to you. Because I recognize what you're doing. Miigwech for this dance. This is the grass dance. And there was no audience here. There was no competition about who was the most grateful. You know, we all danced in a ceremony because we were all grateful. In 1876, it all switched over. Buffalo Bill Cody, or whatever his name was, he put together a Wild West show, and he had wagon drives and cattle rides and horse rides, horse races. And then he found a whole new way to draw a whole bunch of people. Got seven Indians to dance in this Wild West show. People paid lots of money to come see these people. And we started to get good reviews and everything, so I decided maybe if I dressed them up, because they look kind of plain, wearing all their skins and their furs and color there, sort of the colors of little powwow today, and that's what you see. Buffalo Bill dressed up in. There's only about five people that I've seen dance a traditional powwow, dancing in the story of their lives, dancing to the color of their life. And it's only about 5 people I've ever seen. And they do the sneak up dance. Do the sneak up dance, illustrating how life changed. Life, life. The dances, the drumming, dances, and everything. Today you can go into a store and buy a drum, and it sounds like a Walmart cardboard box. Does not sound like a word. When you go to a drum, a traditional drum, and you hear boom, boom, that is a drum. To be able to stand thank you to the universe. And it took me 2 years to make a drum that was suitable to the person who was giving me. When it tightened on me, it tightened up to me. So I had to figure out how it's going to sound as I'm tightening it, how it's going to sound 6 months down the road. But the thing is, to be able to dance, you look at feeling you would receive when you're dancing. How do you feel? You picture what you're grateful for, and you picture that, and you feel put that feeling into your heart. Put that feeling of gratitude there. If you're praying for healing, like me, when I do praying and I heal somebody, I picture in my mind what that person's going to look like once that pain I got goes away. And I picture what that person's going to look like. A lot of times that person's ashamed of something. And I picture that person without shame. And once that feeling is there, picture that. Then I will go sometimes by myself to the mountain and I would sing that song. That I would put that music to that picture I'm looking at. I put music to that, I sing that song of what it feels like to look at that picture I'm looking at. To make sure that it goes up to the universe and it comes back double, I'll hit the drum. Because sound travels by vibrations. And I will send my voice gratitude to the universe. Because that drum is so loud that it will right up. Then it comes back. And usually it comes back up. That means whatever I'm praying for with the person I'm trying to work with, that help will heal and help. That is the reason for the drum, the dance, and the reason why we visualize. And we are singing and picturing this. You can feel it. You feel it. Most times people don't have. If you don't see it, you have a hard time. A lot of times I try to have people see it through my eyes. Because like I'm talking about, I'm going in the opposite direction of most people. I'm going in the opposite direction. People, when a surgeon does an operation, people say, what does that have to do with God? Duh. You know, the surgeon prayed. And when I got my operation, I really prayed that surgeon that the creator was going to show that person how to move his hands. And I prayed, put my doctor down. And it worked. Because at first I only had 5% chance. The doctors said, there's no way you're going to you only have 5% chance. That's pretty good. Yeah. Either way I win. Go or you go. You win. You still win. So that's a double win thing. That's how we got that you asked about the answer. But yeah. Yeah, but the day that we danced at that Wild West show is the day that we became almost like a such. Well, we were a such. In more the sense of the heart. Our heart went to the beach. And our life changed. When you walk with the surety, when you plan with the surety of intention, your life changes. You attack whatever you're doing with a whole new formula already forming in your mind. When you are making a decision, you sit back and say, well, how can what I'm doing, how can that better other people? If you've been through trauma and you've lost, you've had things taken away from you, you went through traumas. If somebody comes up to you and asks you a yes or no question, most of the time you will say no. Through the pain that's going through your body. If you're used to yes, and you know that the vibration, yes, most of the time you will say yes. Because yes has a vibration. Yes has a frequency. And our forefathers, there were four of them. Understand? Forefathers. They had the formula. They were very smart. They knew that there was energy, the vibration. They had a total knowledge. There was the vibration. It was such a strong message that they built pyramids. But pyramids that were a couple of million, maybe 5 million stones put together. Nice hill in the country, in the desert. Had to do with vibration and frequency. We're still trying to figure that out today. We're starting to find out that yes, there was even a platform for somebody to lie down outside of it, where the vibration coming in would feel whatever we want. When you're doing ceremony, when you're learning these words, it's in these words. That's what's really good about it. If you've ever been scared of change, and somebody came along and said, well, you're never going to do it. Well, thank you. I won't have to try. And if you ever want to be kind of unsure of yourself, you're going to do something, go tell a couple of people, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for sure. Then you walk away and it's, oh, thank God, I don't have to do that. I've already told them. That's why they say never tell people what you're going to be doing. Never tell people what you're doing. Because when you do it for yourself, you enjoy the benefit of what you do. And you don't hurt other people doing it. So it's a pretty neat thing. We're on a roll here. Any questions? Any comments?
Yes. It made me think because it was Super Bowl yesterday, and it was the Kansas City Chiefs, and they changed their mascot, so Bravo, I guess. But they were cow dancers, and I didn't want to be too annoying because I didn't commit too much to this. But with that one, the first thing I thought about was Buffalo Bill. Because again, it's like the Roman circus, Super Bowl idea, and then you see how dancers there in more context, which just makes me think about a show. But it really hasn't changed all that much. And there's still a lot of races going on in that regard, and mascots and things like that. So I would mention that for anything they watch.
Yeah. The thing that I got me was a lot of us are very angry because they're using some of our words to name football teams, basketball teams, and all kinds. They use the Shkwaa indicators and everything. And people get mad. I've always been proud. I've always been proud. Oh, geez, you know. They're bound to win because they got the. People don't like that. Now, one of the most racist things that are going on is the word power. Nobody ever does boo. And I got time sometimes to make it that. But that's all about that. With that actually. Even the word tonto. Kids used to be tonto, fighting over who's going to be tonto when they were kids. Marty tonto. Me, I didn't want to be tonto. So small. Tonto meant the slow one. Spanish. Slow one. And I didn't want to be seen something slow. I already knew I was slow. That's funny. Yeah. Thanks for that. Any other questions? Before we only got 20 minutes to do it now. Believe it or not, there's a person that came all the way from way out of town for watching the Kchi that they say I'm funny. So I'm a little bit geez. We'll start off with the language here. Nobody has questions or comments. Yes, Kevin.
You were just saying it's a good morning again. Just in the language.
Mino, gizhebaawgat. No, gizhebaawgat. You are both sitting down, standing there, and you are serving the next morning, and you are sitting Gchi. It's nice for creative gifts. No, gizhebaawgat. Yes. How'd you say? What? Yeah. Which nokiiyaan? Which dialect is that? Okay. And so if I say nokiiyaan, you just say me. No, I've been telling the class, nwiisin means art. Nwiisin, nwiisin, the one I walk home towards home. Nwiisin. Yeah. So, like even my topic for the weekend, next weekend is going to be the judgment and punishment. That's my topic for. I'm going to Montreal to do a thing, and it's going to be the topic is going to be punishment and judgment and punishment. And there is none like that in Ojibwe. The thing we say when we see somebody doing something, if it's a boy, we say, Ojibwe is ass. Ojibwe is ass. And what we're actually saying is that behavior you're looking at comes from somewhere. That is not that way. That behavior you're looking at comes from one of us. A couple of us in this community, because we are part of this community to help that child grow. So if he is wrong, and there's something wrong with him, we are all at fault. That is what we're saying. So there's quite a few instances of that, those words in our language. Even Gimiw today, this world has been shortened to become, he's crazy. There's no such thing as crazy in our life. It's not bad people. When they noticed someone was special, he was the one that he looked after the kids because he was so childlike and gentle. And they discovered that later on, after a few years, that if you want to turn that kid into something else, judge him for a second. You will fulfill the response that you're giving him. That's pretty neat. Thanks for that. Anything else want to add to that? You're quiet today. Usually when you're somewhere safe, where you go.
I know how to efficient, but I do want to.
I'm just teasing. I'm starting to pick on people too. I've been watching not Bernsey too often. Or Russell Peters. Russell Peters is giving my jokes.
What would be the best time for you today? You know what?
Well, if they did, they would right now. You have to take a look at how much money would be lost. They no longer have competition power and all of these dance powers, all these song championships. It would be, I'd be shocked if you back up in time. But like for me, in my own little family, in my own little tribe, I tried to remember the time to my people. Pretty well why I bring it up here. To have an opportunity for people to soar just like me. But Rich, your value of who you are grows with who you're looking at as your bank. Your value always grows. Success to me is the value of the person. Whatever happens. And because I see some really valuable people. And I see some people that walk into a room in the friendship center. The moment I walk in and see the person smiling at me from across the room. Most treatment centers, everybody turn around and see the other way. Some of the places I've been, people smile. Strangers smile at me when I talk to these people. Yeah, that's really neat. That's when you start to realize you have a value. You call it self-esteem or whatever, you know. But most of the time, if you put artificial self-esteem for yourself, big house, big car, artificial self-esteem. You don't get self-esteem, you don't get value, you become arrogant. Anyway, that's what I see. That's what I observe. And that's probably where I'd be if I would have kept on going where I was going, I was doing. The thing that scared me the most is, what if my kids become just like me? So I changed course, and my kids became like me. Except because I'm a kid. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have that. Say it after me as if you know it. You know gizhebaawgat. Gchi. Very windy. Tkaanmat noongwa. Bwaasinoon ndagwinan. Bwaasinoon, that word. Anybody who goes on the other side of North Bay down the highway towards Highway 11, You're about 25 miles out of North Bay, you would see that word. Bwaasinoon. Doesn't sound like that, it's changed a little bit, but that's where the word comes. Shkwaa wiisniyaan nbaa. Shkwaa wiisniyaan nbaa. Say it like you know it. Shkwaa wiisniyaan nbaa. Shkwaa wiisniyaan nbaa. What's familiar about that sentence? Shkwaa wiisniyaan nbaa. Before it. You won't sleep after it. The next one says, Shkwaa wiisniyaan nbaa. After I eat, I will go with you. Means you're not going to sleep where you eat. Tkaanmat. Gizhiitaayaan. Kawe nwep. Gizhiitaayaan. Enokiiyaan. I'm gonna have a rest and I'll finish with it. And I separated enokiiyaan and made it into almost 2 words. Enokiiyaan. Njida. I'll be finished what I'm doing. Is the second word. First word is I'll be finished work. I'll rest first and then I'll finish what I'm doing. Gimiwan, noongwa. Did you make it rain? You do a dance, make it rain? The one, noohngswan, Bangiishehn. Bangiishehn. It's raining a little bit. Not enough to get wet. Bangiishehn, njida, nwiisin. Say it like this now, you know it. Bangiishehn, njida, nwiisin. I'm eating little for a reason. If somebody was going to meet you on time, they didn't show up, or a little later, maybe 15 minutes later, they waited 15 minutes for you. If you're kind, you would say, njida. Njida. I'm not late for a reason other than we're beyond my control. Yes. Bangiishehn, njida, nwiisin. Okay, njida. 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 Not on purpose. That's the short form, the English translation. The Indian translation is njida. There's no reason for me being late. That means that you didn't do it on purpose. And you didn't leave without seeing you or anything like that. It's an honest reason that you're honest with it. Any questions? Any other comments? Thanks for the help. Really helps me when I have even people that'll kind of tease me from the audience. So, yes,
I asked clarification. That's all I need about language.
that sounds like you like it. Thank you. I think that's a compliment. But
That's where it is, right?
oh yeah,
What did you call you? What did you say?
He called me, that I have to be learning my English.
Oh.
you already did that. That's pretty neat. Any other comments or questions before I? Yeah, either you're getting ready to run or. I have a little band that follows me around. She says, I said, what do you want to learn the language? She's about, I think she's about 14. So why do you want to? She made sure she got me by herself. So she said, we got to go get some stuff over there and I'm going to come with you. I said, okay. So she jumped in with me and then she started asking questions. So I started questioning. Why do you want to learn the language? She said, well, I want to know what the hell you guys are always laughing. Exactly like that. But she had she said she's always wanted to be a part of the laughter. And she was really, really, really concerned because she didn't know what the laughter was about. And when we do certain, when I work in certain areas, there's a lot of laughter. Now, when I work in prison, and some of these guys are, one look at you and you turn stones. But when I did the circles in prison, there was laughter. There was guys literally crying because of that. And the biggest compliment I ever received was, you know, Lorney, for a day, for an hour and a half a day, we all forget that we're in prison. That was the nicest thing they would have said. And they got up to share, to disclose, and sometimes they punched the walls. And it's a good thing that the walls were concrete. They punched the walls in their anger of what was coming and what was being spoken and shared. And that was so scary that the guards used to pull back and step outside of their observation. And one of them asked me one time, "Do you ever get scared, Lorney?" I said, no. Oh, it's not. How come? It's because I have no intention of hurting anyone in this room. That makes sense. I still don't understand, but it does make sense. But the guards used to be angry that they didn't want these guys that happy. But every day, 4 days a week, they laugh. Sometimes they laugh because, and it's really something because when you've suffered and you've suffered in the world out there, and you get into some place where you can laugh your head up, takes away all that stuff. It's all unbelievable. You know, I could even feel it even. I got a meeting to go to, so I gotta be on time. Starts at 1 a.m. That's it, where he decided whether we're gonna keep on doing this.
Oh, that's right, the one.
Any other questions? One last time. Huh? Right?
Do you need to know the game?
If you're able to say something and you see the picture before you see the picture, everybody that sees the same picture you're looking at will laugh. You will, we're different than non-native people. When you see a person falling down on the sidewalk, he's walking on all this. You look at it. Then he gets up, looking down, then he. Right over there, are you okay? To make sure then. And we give him the respect. When it started in circles, when somebody broke down in their disclosure, 3 people used to run over their other arm, hug them and everything like her. And I said, stop doing that. Don't do that anymore. And I would always kick out of town. How dare I do so? But the reason everybody ran across, these 2 people have been triggered the same way. They were grateful that this person was going through the actual analysis. And they were stopping this person from giving an action. And so I said, okay, people are not going to stop me from what I'm doing. This person needs to cry, leave this person alone to another friend. We used to be quite a deal. How many questions? What they say in English, one.